Here now, you can see, I don't know if you can hear me. Here we have a change of character. Here in this white line here, we have a change of character here. Then after the change of character, you can see it has gone back up here to retest it. Came back up here to retest it. Then touched the other block here, then came down. Now we're expecting it now to break this structure here. You can see to break the structure. Break the structure. Most times, what I normally do, I take my trade with the daily time frame. I try to take my trade on a daily time frame. I check the daily time frame, the last previous daily time frame candle, the last candle. You can see, let me remove this white line. You can see there is a break of structure here. Sorry. There is a break of structure here on the daily time frame. You can see this second candle, this candle here, this green candle that touched this line. That green candle, the highest high was this, the lowest was this. So you can see the next candle, which is this green candle here, the last green candle broke the previous daily. After breaking it, it has to come down back to retest, to touch this. You must come back to touch this. So you look for a perfect entry. You have to look for an FVG on a smaller time frame. Brother, let's go to the next time frame, which is a 4 hours time frame, which I normally use. A 4 hours time frame. This is the top of the last previous candle on the daily time frame. You can see when he broke it, so he has to come back. You look for an FVG, the last FVG before he broke, and the last FVG is just seated here. It's just seated here. You can see that seated here. This is where the FVG, but you can see where I want to take my profit just before the FVG, just to be safe. Then you have to be patiently waiting for this to come down. You can see there's already a sign, a rejection, a long rejection on the last candle here before the first red. You can see there's a rejection there. Now we are expecting it to come down to this place. It has to come down to this place. This is the FVG. Then this is the other block. This is the other block on a 4 hour time frame. Then this is the FVG. Let me use another color to draw the FVG. This is the FVG. FVG means fair value gap. Fair value gap. Fair value gap. What color should I use now? Let me use the blue color. Fade it a little bit. Then the gray is the other block. The blue is the fair value gap, the gap between these candles. You can see, so it has to come here and mitigate this. So take my trade, my profit here just above the FVG. You have to be very patient to get this trade perfectly well. You have to be very patient and watch this trade come down to this place. There's another thing again. If you look at this 4-hour time frame, you can see there's another block here. There's another block here, just within the line of the daily time frame. If you go to the daily time frame now, you see that that's the blue bar I drew is just exactly on the line. So there's a probability that the trade can reverse on that spot upwards. But mind you, Bitcoin is going up. It's a long upward trend. If we check the 1 week time frame, you will see that it has been doing a trend, which is a downtrend, has been occurring ever since. And this is, you can see the Elliott wave I drew on it, the one A B C D E, that's the 1 2 3 4 5 is complete. So that's the end of one wave. The end of one wave. This 5 most times does not complete. On the norms, it's supposed to come down to this place. It's supposed to come down towards the side. But that means Bitcoin is going to fall to 220 something thousand, which is possible. But on this higher time frame, which is the weekly time frame, you can see this line. This line is a divergence. It's a divergence on a weekly time frame. You can see it on the RSI. There's a divergence that I've occurred, which most times a divergence is a sign of a reversal, of a strong reversal, especially when it is seen on a higher time frame. When you see a divergence on a higher time frame, it's the chances of it to fail is just 5% or 3%. It hardly fails. On a higher time frame, the possibility of it to reverse is 97%, if not 100. It always obeys. So the divergence is a very big sign of a strong reversal. You can see my RSI down here, and you can see this candle line, this weekly candle trend line I drew. This one was facing down, it's facing down while this was going up. It's not supposed to be so. It's supposed to go in the same direction. They're supposed to be on the same direction. Now we know that there will be a reversal, a very strong reversal. So what do? We wait for a reversal. Remember I said a strong reversal upwards. A strong reversal upwards. Now we'll now wait for it to go to 15 minutes time frame and see what's going on. You can see over here, this is a higher high, a high, and this is a lower low. This is a lower high, and now it's coming to form a lower low. I want to give you an expo concerning trading. Most times when you see a trade moving in one direction, it doesn't go straight. It must form a zigzag. Let me draw a line to show you. It must form ABC. Most times it forms ABC. ABC. Let me use this like this. A, B, then reforms. Sorry, reforms. That's C. This is B and this is A. So it forms something like this, like a lightning symbol. That's what it forms. A particular wave, especially a correctional wave, most times does not go on a straight line. It goes on a zigzag form, like a lightning symbol sign. That's how it moves. It moves like that. Then you always wait for it to finish the move before you can certify it to be a complete wave. So this was a wave that was complete. Then it came here and formed another wave. You can see this went like this. It went like this and came down like this, then went up like this, then came down. Now this one started again. This one started its own. Now this wave, 1, 2, then 3 to come down. That's how to know if a wave is complete or not. Especially a correctional wave comes with 3 ABC, ABCD zigzag pattern. Do not forget. In the Elliott wave, we have Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. And when there's after the 5, there's always a consolidation. There's always a consolidation, A, B, C, D, E, E. Then before it reverses, and most times that A, B, C, D, E forms what it forms. It forms the A, B, and C pattern. You have to understand Elliott wave is a very powerful study when it comes to trading. You have to study, you have to understand what Elliott wave is. The whole trade, the whole coins, the whole cryptocurrency, the whole market, both stock, both altcoin, they use Elliott wave. If you are able to understand Elliott wave, you will be one of the masters in trading. You will not guess to trade. You understand when to enter a trade and when not to enter. You understand what motive trend is and what a corrective wave, a motive trade wave and a corrective wave. There are two different kind of waves. A motive wave is always longer and a corrective wave is shorter. Most times we don't like to enter a trade on a corrective wave. Depends on the time frame. So what Bitcoin has been doing all this while, since all this months, for the past few months, it has been doing a correction. It's a correctional wave that it has been doing. Let me see if I can show you here monthly time frame. You can see the monthly time frame. This is the monthly time frame. This was where wave 5 stopped before it started doing the correctional wave. This was wave 5. Wave 5. Then came here A, B, and C. You can see on a very high wave, correctional wave, you can see where C is. C has come here to form like a double bottom. As you can see that. So that's why there's at least a sign, a confirmation with the divergence as a proof of a change of direction. You can see it here on a 4 hour time frame. You see a divergence on a 4 hour time frame. Before we go up long, there will be a reversal first. This reversal is what I entered here to get to either here either here or here. So we're waiting for it. Now I have to take my take profit above, because considering my moving average, this moving average of this gold line is a moving average of 20, and the purple line is a moving average of 50, and the red moving average is 200. This one up here is 200. So we are all waiting for it to either touch here or here, but it has to touch this line. It has to come to this white line, because that was the highest high of the previous day candle. I'm using the breaker. I'm using the broker I'm using. I'm using FBS. FBS is the broker I'm using for my trade. That's what I use. FBS. I, I I don't know if you know FBS. FBS. It's actually a very good broker, and it doesn't give me issues. It doesn't give me issues. Easy to deposit, easy to withdraw, like that. Yes, FVG means fair value gap. Fair value gap. Fair value gap. That's what FVG means. Bitcoin is going to go to is Bitcoin is going to reach a very high level. I'm telling you this now, mark my words. It's going to go beyond, it will go to the all-time high so far, because this wave that is about to do now is the third wave, wave 3. It has done one complete wave, one, and if you check the monthly time frame, it has done a complete wave 1. this one is doing that is called reversal is forming wave 2, and the wave 2, once it ends, most times the wave 2 ends with um 6.1, 6.81, or 78 point in the Fibonacci. If you use your Fibonacci, you get that perfectly well. There will be a reversal there. Then it will now reverse and create the third wave. The third wave is always the longest wave. It's always the longest wave. FBS. Which you said, which broker am I using? I'm using FBS. But this platform you're seeing is MetaTrader 5. MetaTrader 5 that I'm using to trade. Bitcoin, don't guess. Whenever you're trading, don't need to guess. Don't need to guess. And make sure you always enter at the right spot where there are demands or supplies. At supply zone, you can, let me just show you where this ended. This last high, this week, the green week that ended this uptrend. Let me show you. You see that there is actually an order block there, another block there, or a fair value gap. Those are the things they react to. It reacts to those things. Let me check on the 4-hour time frame again. Okay, so since you understand the order block and you understand the fair value gap, that's exactly the spot where you can take your trade. Take your trade there. Most times, before you just, when it gets to another block, you don't take a trade instantly. What you do, you wait for a confirmation, especially a rejection or an engulfing candle. An engulfing candle to the opposite side. That's where you can take a trade to that opposite side. But if you are getting an engulfing candle to the same direction, and that direction you have met another block there, there's a tendency that that engulfing candle might be invalid. Because it cannot beat the demand zone. The engulfing candle cannot beat the demand zone. It cannot. So by tomorrow, rather, it's just 1 minute now. By tomorrow, by tomorrow morning, I'm in Nigeria right now. By tomorrow morning, this trade will come down. There will be lots of red candle down to this line here. That line is the line that I said that ended the previous day high. That was where the previous day high stopped before it came down and broke the previous day high. Now it has to come back and retest it into a fair value gap or an order block. And the two most important parts in this trade now is this. Is this still showing streaming? Is showing starting soon? Is this still showing that? Well, I guess it's network. It's the network. I entered this trade since like, let me say, like 6 hours ago. I entered this trade. I think there's 6 hours ago I entered this trade because I know it's a long trade. So if you can even see, I didn't put any stop loss there because I don't want it to close early. So I want it to run through. Because when you are sure, most times when you are sure, you don't need to be putting your stop loss, because stop loss shows that you are scared. But stop loss is good actually. When you're entering a trade you're not sure of, or you put the stop loss in a safer zone that you know that it will not close quickly, and you also know that it might not, the probability of it getting there will not, it will be very, very low. That's what you just do. For the past few hours I entered this trade. It's just now that I'm entering into profit. You can see entering into profit. It's patience. Most times it's patience. It's patience. Is it still showing streaming starting soon? Wow. Let me check what's going on. Let me check what's going on. I think refresh my network.